Da 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 da. Here's Matt. Da 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 da. There's Bert. Ba da ba ba ba. Hope something sticks. Blah blah blah.
Hey there. Welcome to Hope Something Sticks. I'm Bert.
I'm Matt.
And today we're kind of going to continue talking politics a bit, and we're going to go over some of the recent developments of the election. There's a lot of them, and just kind of get everyone up to speed and discuss that.
Because everyone's not totally glued to the news reels and doom scrolling through their Twitter feeds.
All right, but we're gonna give the news to the people, uncut, fresh, in your face, if you will.
1 month at a time.
Mm-hmm.
The way the news was intended to be delivered every now and again.
Yep.
When you can stand it.
So, I guess really the first big thing was the first presidential debate between Joe Biden and President Donald Trump.
Let me just cut you off right there. No, I was joking about the...
Yep.
I was joking.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
Yeah, I have a follow-up for that.
It's awful. Was it a debate?
Yeah, it was... Go ahead.
Wasn't a debate at all. It was nothing but interruptions and two old guys yelling at each other. And then Biden couldn't keep his composure. He knew exactly what was going to happen, and he still had to devolve back into it. He should have just let him go. Or walked off.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he did anything really wrong. He didn't fuck up. See, this is what I kind of equate the Biden-Harris game plan. Put this in football terms. Okay, so it's fourth quarter. There's about 3.5 minutes left. You're up by 2 touchdowns. What do? You play conservatively and drain the clock. And I think that's pretty much what they're doing. They're not doing anything that could have a major reaction either way, in case it's a negative reaction, because they're up by about 10 points nationally.
Fair enough.
And they're up. You don't have to do anything except show up and say, hey, I'm still alive, and I don't have coronavirus. One of those candidates can say that. Well, both of them are saying it, but one's telling the truth. So, yeah, that's what I think Biden and Harris are doing. They're basically just, we got this in the bag, barring some huge catastrophe. Let's just make sure everybody fucking votes.
Wasn't there supposed to be an October surprise from the Trump campaign?
Yeah,
weren't they always, they're doing the Papa John's thing. Stay tuned. Why don't you we're gonna set the record straight. Why don't you just set the record straight right now? Why you gotta wait? Just stay tuned. We're gonna blow up Canada.
That's basically just kind of goes back to his reality TV show host,
right.
Roots. It's
Save it for the finale.
Something's coming.
Uh-huh.
So the feeling of anticipation stays, and you just don't give them anything.
Yeah. So what are we in, episode 8, episode 9 yet of the series? Episode 10's the finale.
Yeah, we're about halfway through episode 9 right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so for as much as we can piece together from that, debate, Chris Wallace was just definitely started to lose his shit in there.
Oh, that was bullshit. He was playing right up to Trump. It's like, I'm not going to do anything about this, Mr. President. I might feel like I have to raise my voice. Like, yeah, you do, Chris.
Yeah. What is there to do with that, though? It's not... He couldn't mute him. What was he going to do? Tell the president to shut the fuck up?
I'm not sure. maybe I don't know. The most common refrain after the debate was, "Oh, we'll just put a mute button on him." But that to me is just insane because now he's still going. Biden can still hear him, and we can't hear him. It had to be more of like a, the whole setup was flawed because they kept assuming that he'd play by the rules, but there are no rules when it comes to him. He's, I've said it before. I'll say it again. He's just a 70-year-old baby who has been spoiled his entire life, or 75-year-old baby. I don't even know how old he is.
I think he's 74.
Yeah, okay. So he's never had to play by anybody's rules other than his own. And he doesn't think they apply to him. Oh, except when he's, doing his taxes. Then the rules apply to him.
Well, yeah, I don't think they were expecting him to follow the rules. I don't know if they were expecting him to completely disregard them the way they did. I think that was like, it's been 4 years, but I don't even remember his debate with Clinton being that bad. Like, it got nasty, but he was just like, he would just talk over Chris Wallace, he'd talk over Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, like, Joe Biden, like, he got the toughest question Joe Biden got, and also Kamala Harris got, was whether they're going to add Supreme Court justices to the Supreme Court if they got elected, and they got the Senate majority. For Biden's debate, that was like basically completely forgotten because it's just a whole fucking sea of Trump just saying I don't know what, just a whole bunch of crazy shit.
Just ran off the rails. He just kept trying to bring up Hunter Biden as if we're electing Hunter Biden. Dude, yeah. He's treating the Biden campaign exactly like he's treating his own campaign, where we're not electing Biden's family, man. And that's basically what we got with Trump. They elected his entire family to go and handle the entire government.
Yeah, Hunter Biden's not going to be, one of his advisors.
Clearly, he better not.
I don't think he would. I don't know. Hunter Biden he hasn't been in politics at all, so bringing him in wouldn't make sense. And again, he's not Donald. He's not Donald Trump, who just like, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
He's not in politics. Bro. I like that line. No one in the Trump administration is in politics. Any of the ones that were in politics were tried out and then fired after a year or less. Like, everybody who had anything to do and everybody who thought they could control him, anybody who tried steering the ship, as it were, or getting them away from him, he just got rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. The only original cabinet members left is like Ben Carson, who I think is still taking a nap, and Mitch McConnell's wife.
I
think that might be about it.
That's right. Ben Carson is towing the line pretty well, but then again, the man is unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying individual. But I like I can appreciate his economy strategy and him tanking the stimulus, the second stimulus package. A genius stroke, really. He is truly a dictator. He is holding us hostage to be elected. This is the same strategy that Nixon employed, except it wasn't the economy for him, it was Vietnam. Nixon said, "Re-elect me, we'll be out of Vietnam." And everybody believed it. And it ended up being true. He did. After, bombing the piss out of North Vietnam and Cambodia. Good plan, Tricky. Nice job. And so that's the same thing Trump's doing. Re-elect me, and I'll give you the stimulus package. Which is horse shit.
So,
you should just give it. Because it's the right thing to do.
So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to besmirch Nixon's comparatively pristine character.
I know, he just didn't.
Not even character. You know what? Nixon's intelligence, which he wasn't a dumb person. Trump tried to hold the country hostage, and then it's like, well, except this one thing. Wait, never mind. Fuck it. No, we're not doing it. No way, we are doing. He just he can't decide what's better in the polls for that particular second, and everything he does seemingly is like having him drop like a tenth of a point in the polls.
Yeah, he's incredibly reactionary because he's live tweeting alongside Fox and Friends. Did you ever see that? This might have been a year or two ago when he called into Fox News. He called in and he ranted for an hour, a solid hour. He was supposed to call in for 10 minutes, and he just kept going, and they let him go.
Yeah, they all kind of run together. I remember
this was a solid hour. He wasn't even prompted on anything. It was just, he just went. It was intense.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Chris was trying to maybe doing the right thing. And yeah, what the hell are you supposed to do? But they had no game plan for what to do when that was going to happen. And they should have known that was going to happen. You need a disaster plan. What happens if this guy doesn't shut the hell up, which we know he cannot shut up?
I mean, but maybe that's just what they were fine with it. It's like, hey, if he just wants to fucking rant all the entire debate about whatever, it's like, okay, well, here you go. These are your two guys. Like, that's a pretty good picture of what you're gonna get from both of them when it comes down to it.
You know what? I wouldn't mind if the other guy was allowed to rant just as much, but he's ranting over the other person's time, and that's what's stupid.
Yeah.
Things have changed since the Lincoln-Douglas debates, let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Quick history lesson. Lincoln and Stephen A. Douglas were vying for a Senate seat, and throughout Illinois they had 5 scheduled debates, and the format was this. Each guy gets to talk for an hour. You get to talk for a solid hour, the next guy gets to talk for an hour, and then there's a half-hour rebuttal after that, and that's it. And you got to sit through that whole thing. If you want any idea.
What else you get doing?
I guess nothing. It was actually incredibly famous, and it made Lincoln nationally famous.
Mm-hmm.
He lost.
Yeah. Far cry from that. So I think that's as much as we can squeeze from that first debate. That debate, I believe, was last Tuesday, and then I believe it was very, very late or very early Wednesday nights to Thursday morning. Like, I think it was like 12. It was almost like 1 a.m. Thursday morning, where I think Trump tweeted that he tested positive for COVID-19. And there's quite a few interesting things that happened right after that. So the next morning, he was like, "Yep, I'm just gonna hang out in the White House for the next few days, and I'll knock it out. It's cool." And then, like, hours later, it's like, "I'm going to the hospital as a complete precaution. Everything's cool." And then, like, yeah, everything's still cool, but I'm going to take this experimental...
Regeneron.
Yeah, well, Regeneron is the company.
Remdesivir? Is that the thing they sell? Or is that Gilead?
I don't know. But I think that's the name of the actual company. It's an antibody treatment. Basically, you inject the antibodies for COVID-19, right into you.
Oh, that's like the convalescent plasma thing.
Yeah. So there's that, which isn't available to anyone else.
Right.
And then then a whole bunch of steroids too.
Everybody keeps joking about how much dexamethasone, which we mentioned in our COVID show. How much did he really take? Like, how much is a lot?
enough for him to walk outside.
Because dexamethasone was just it limits, it shaves off the worst 4 days of it, is my understanding of it. Just to give everybody a quick refresher.
Maybe it was the last few days of it. You don't know when he tested positive. Or when
yeah, exactly. Nobody can get their fucking story straight on that. I think they actually tried giving it to Joe. They literally tried assassinating another candidate by getting him sick. Nobody was wearing a mask. It was beyond political at that point. Like, oh, you've got it, you've got it, you've got it. Alright, well, odds are they'll get it if we're in the same room.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but nah.
Maybe that's why he was interrupting him so much. If I'm talking, exactly. If I talk most of the time, I will spew the COVID at him. Mr. President, white nationalism. Oh, baby, come to Papa.
Yeah.
Yeah. My jaw hit the floor. That was...
What, when Trump said that, or when Alec Baldwin parodied it?
When Trump said, "Stand back and stand by," which is now the official motto of that group, whose name I refuse to say. Although I do appreciate that Proud Boys is trending on Twitter and not in the direction that they'd like it to be.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Way to take it back, boys. Nice job.
Mm-hmm. Yep. True patriots.
Mm-hmm. Got that right.
So, yeah. But like, it must have been like 2 days or something after he went to the hospital. He just like went for a joyride in an SUV.
Well, he wasn't sleeping well, so they had to get him in the car to put him down again.
I guess he was just waving at everybody. Hey, I'm still alive.
Unreal. Putting his Secret Service agents at risk in a hermetically sealed room in that car.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And then he went back like the next day or two after that, took off his mask,
Mm-hmm.
right. Chatting with everybody.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how he's actually doing. What are the numbers looking like? We were looking at the numbers nationally.
The numbers aren't great for him. So I generally before the debates, the numbers were Biden was up about 8% nationally. Now it's kind of, it's like 12, 10, 12. CNN said it was 16, which seemed like kind of a lot, but the last big poll from the Washington Post and ABC have Biden up 12 points, I think 54% to 42.
Okay, well, those are the left-leaning ones. In terms of Fox News that I saw, they said 10 points with an error margin of 3
and
for Biden.
That was before the debate, right? Or right after? I think it was before debate, wasn't it?
That was for the period of the 3rd to the 6th of October. It is currently the 11th as of this recording.
So the 6th was the debate. So
you might have debate info in there, potentially.
But probably, because the debate was later that night. I don't know if they were calling people while the debate was going on, and then, like, maybe, but probably not.
It's possible. They said that they surveyed 1,000 people, and more than two-thirds, were cell phones. So it's entirely possible there's debate info in there. There's debate skewage. That's a word.
But that's like at the very tail end of the date.
True.
And I don't know if anyone really processed it like, they might have got calls like during the debate. It's like, I don't know, but definitely before everyone knew the Trump had COVID, and that didn't seem to help his numbers.
Let's see. The closest poll I see is 2,800 respondents via The Hill, and their measure of error is 1.8, and that still gives Biden a 5-point advantage. I'm sorry, less than that. 3.5. That'd be 3.5 points after the
Nationally?
You know what? I don't know who they said they poll. I think these are national polls. Also from the 3rd to the 6th. Oh no, I can't cite my sources. Either way, right about this time, same time, it's like the same show again. I'm freaked out. Clinton was right here this time last year. Now maybe is there another Comey letter? I think that Comey letter, James Comey is directly responsible for influencing that election. And he completely, dude, he dropped that letter the week of the election. He couldn't wait 3 more days and drop it right after. And it didn't do anything other than freak everybody out. Even I was freaked out. And I didn't believe any of that bullshit with her emails and all that other shit.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I want to know how much you got paid to drop that letter.
I don't know.
At that time. He couldn't do it a week before then? It's ridiculous. Because you were saying that right before the election, or election day, Clinton was only 4 points.
Up 4 points.
That's the margin of error. That's right there.
Yeah. And she ended up being up 2 points, in the actual election, but like with the Electoral College, she still lost.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean.
So where's the bombshell? What's the bombshell for Biden? What's going to blow up his campaign? Is it Tara Reid? Is she going to come out of the woodwork with a book?
Tara Reid. I really don't see anything like that. I mean, if there was anything, Trump would have found it by now. He was trying so hard just to make shit up.
It's not going to be him. And their campaign has proven time and again they can't even collude with the Russians appropriately. They tried and failed. That's what the Mueller report found. They tried and failed. Couldn't do it. Couldn't dig up anything. They found a lot of other interesting things, like more pics of Anthony Weiner's wiener.
Well, that was the Clinton thing.
Oh shit!
They found those emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop.
Or wasn't it
arresting him for something else?
Right. Oh god. So promising.
Yeah. But yeah.
Super whores, man. Super whores. You know about the super whores, right?
No, I don't know about the super whores.
Quick primer on the super whores. It's a movie called Head of State, written, directed, and starring Chris Rock. About 2003 or so. He is running for president because the current front runner for the presumably Democratic Party is killed in a plane crash of some sort. So he is just grabbed. They're assuming they're going to lose, so they're just throwing whatever candidate they want at the wall. So they pick him. Mm-hmm. Anyway, during his training with his campaign staffers, he meets this tall, luxurious blonde who presents herself as an aide of some sort. And then he asks his staffers, oh wait, what does she do exactly? And they're like, oh, she sleeps with you. What? She is what's known as a super whore. And then there's a cutscene of the super whores in training, and they're like running obstacle courses, and they're in like fatigues, and they're getting yelled at. There's a bunch of hot chicks in fatigues, and they're getting yelled at by some drill sergeant. She's like, "Come on, get over that wall, move those fat tits, get that fat ass in gear." And then they have a cutscene back, and he's like, "These girls are good." Hope Hicks is a super whore. Why didn't Anthony Weiner have a super whore? That's what I'm getting at. What the hell? They failed. They failed in their training.
I guess.
Come on, man.
Don't train super whores like they used to.
Or they don't. I don't know. Were they in contract negotiations or something? This is their bye week.
I don't know.
I got nothing.
Anyway.
Now that I've derailed your train of thought.
Thank you. So, yeah. So the Hill is the most favorable to Trump, it being 5 points, but it ended you said it ended on the 6th.
That's right.
Okay. I mean, again, then there's the whole COVID thing that in every other poll it increased the divide between Biden and Trump. I mean, I'd say if the Hill took the poll again, it'd probably be 1 or 2 points. Like every other poll went up about 1 or 2 points from that.
I mean, this is polling season, so this is what they do. This is the time of year they live for. Monmouth University is even worse for Biden. That's looking like that's got a 3.5% error. So I don't know if that's worse for Biden.
The error. What's the spread on that?
Well, it's a 5-point spread with a 3.5 error, so it could be as bad as 1.5 points or as great as 8.5 points. Who's to know? Why is there an asterisk next to Monmouth University? I don't know. They put an asterisk next to it, meaning go down to the notes section. Okay, let me go down to the notes section. Sponsored content. A new illegal steroid is putting muscle on men quickly. I appear to be in the clickbait section of this website.
Anyway, when you take that aggregate of all these polls, Biden's up by about 10 points.
Or one pair of 8-bit shades. Yep.
Anyway, the only thing I see as something that could derail Biden is either he gets COVID and does not respond well to it.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm just saying.
Gets sick and dies. That's the thing that derails Biden is death. or incapacitation.
That's the thing. People aren't going to vote for a dead guy.
I don't think that's going to hurt. Because more people would like to vote for Kamala Harris than Biden.
Then she would be the nominee.
I mean, a choice between Kamala Harris and Biden. Not Biden and the field, as it was. She got lost in the shuffle. She didn't have enough money to advertise. Everybody had already known it was already going to be between Biden and Bernie. So there was she dropped out way before that.
Well, first of all, that's not true, because Biden was dead unless he won big in South Carolina, which he did. It's nope. They kept saying, okay, wait for the South. We're going to do great. And he did. And then everyone's like, oh shit, he can do great. And then everyone voted for him after that. And, the rest of the moderates pulled out of the election. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Joe Biden had way more support from the black community than any black people that were running against him, including Kamala Harris and Booker.
Well,
And that's what did it. He won big in the South, which has larger African American populations. And
well, he got
just
the
lost
endorsement
early
from Clyburn. And Clyburn made a political move.
Go ahead.
No, Clyburn made a political move. And he said, this is the guy who is... I don't know exactly what he said about him. He just chose Biden. He gave him his endorsement.
This is the guy.
And he said, this is the guy that can win.
It definitely helped having Clyburn endorse him. And Clyburn's pretty popular in South Carolina.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I think Biden would have won if Clyburn didn't say anything. But I think he won big. I think he still would. He was polling really well with African Americans throughout the entire election.
Right.
That definitely gave him a bump and probably skyrocketed him to a huge win in South Carolina. That then snowballed into surprise wins in the next Super Tuesday, including Texas,
right.
Which everyone called for Bernie Sanders, and there's a whole bunch of early voting that went on that was probably the majority of Bernie Sanders. That was huge that he was able to overcome that with zero money and just rode that wave of South Carolina, and also all those votes who were just assumed that Biden was dead in the water, all those early votes in Texas, somehow overcame all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also that Bernie Sanders was leading with Latinos, which there's more Latinos in Texas than there are African Americans. I think what did it was the white suburbanites were like, oh shit, Biden can win. I guess I'll just vote for him.
Here, I'm going to bring up my map.
So, now, one thing, it just reminded me of, there was this one good thing from Joe Biden during that first debate where Trump was saying, you can have the most left-wing governments, radical leftists controlling the government. And, and basically what Biden said was, hey, I'm the Democratic Party. It's me. It does what I say now. And I'm moderate, so what you're saying is bullshit. If the Democratic Party was so far left, Bernie Sanders would be the nominee. He's not. I am. That was good.
Pretty definitive.
Politically. Very definitive. Strong.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's enough to swing us back to the left. I don't know if it's enough. I didn't that's the one thing I hated about the VP debate. Joe is not going to ban fracking, one of the worst environmental contributors to to climate change. That shit releases so much methane, which is much worse than CO2.
Yeah.
And they did not want to take a definitive stand on that. Biden says, oh God, what was that terrible line he had? I'm not a fan of the Green New Deal. I'm a fan of the Biden deal or something. The Biden plan.
Mm-hmm.
Build back better. I don't know who's running this campaign, but it's okay.
No. They're winning. Whether that's they're doing or just sitting back and watching Trump implode.
They're letting Trump implode, which is smart. Just let him implode.
I mean, yeah.
That's fine.
Again, it goes back to what I was saying. Just play conservatively. Don't go huge one way or the other. Just sit back and let it happen. because it's happening.
It is fucking
happening. They're doing nothing and they're going up in the polls.
Right.
So.
And Texas is a swing state. We were talking about that. Texas is.
And now Texas is.
Totally
that's insane. That Texas is a swing state.
There's not a whole lot of polls on it, but all of them have. All of their errors are pretty shitty. But some of them. Let's see. New York Times did a poll. A month.
The fact that
it
could swing Biden way, there's a possibility in hell is pretty telling of where things are going.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this is a state that Romney in 2012 won by double digits, but Trump only won it. Only won it by 8 points, but that's half. He won it by half of what Romney won it by, almost. And now there's some polls that are within striking distance in terms of their error. They're not calling Trump accurately. They say Trump by 2 points, 3 points, 5 points, and these errors are 3.5, 4.3, and 3. It's not good.
Yeah. No, I mean, if Republicans lose Texas,
It's pretty much over.
it's over. Like that's Texas is their California, and if they lose it, then I mean, shit. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's so much has to go right for Trump. Like last time, which happened, but these things aren't hitting Biden like things were hitting Clinton. Like, like the fucking emails and Benghazi and this and that. Like, all the stuff they're throwing at Biden just ain't landing. Like, all they had was like Hunter Biden got like some sweet jobs.
Yeah, he used his name. He very clearly
used his name.
Yeah.
They definitely that was definitely greasing the wheel. But
fuck
if
yeah.
Joe Biden didn't do anything with that, then there's nothing wrong. Like, his son did some skeezy shit to get fucking money. Okay, but that's it.
That's basically it. If you would like to arrest Hunter Biden, then arrest Hunter Biden. It's not Joe Biden's doing.
But Hunter Biden didn't even do anything wrong. Like, he's a private citizen. If they want to fucking pay him.
Yeah, right. If they want to waste their money on consulting fees or whatever.
Yeah, no. If you're gonna charge Hunter Biden for getting a job because his dad is powerful, all the kids of the top 1% are going to jail.
Yeah, I think a Georgetown University study asked. They did I think it was a graduate study of some sort to see how well their graduates did, and it turns out that being rich trumped being smart almost every time.
So,
to determine future success. And in other sides of the news, apparently Kazakhstan exports 8 million tons of grains in 2020, much more than most countries.
Yes. So, this is actually our first endorsement. We endorsed the Twitter account of Republic of Kazakhstan.
Absolutely. At Kazakhstan, GOVT. The official Twitter account for the government of Kazakhstan.
Definitely legitimate.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
So, yeah, we definitely recommend all of our listeners, Daniel, to...
What up, Danny?
Check that out.
And our thoughts and prayers go to that poor tweeter that gave his life in the service of fixing the Wi-Fi for the Republic of Kazakhstan. Thoughts and prayers.
Truly a hero. Mm-hmm. I think just circling back on how Biden can win. So besides dying, or how Biden can lose, besides dying, the only other thing would be if there's such a huge wave of COVID-19, just like in the general population, that you reduce the amount of people who actually vote, but all of Trump, pretty much everyone, all the Trump supporters, like about 33% of the U.S. population, are gonna vote. That's the one thing he has, is supporters who will vote. Like, if you gave them the choice, if you gave them like this scenario, okay, either you don't vote or you do vote and you do get COVID, they're gonna vote.
Mm-hmm. They show up. They do most definitely show up.
They do show up.
The dirty whites, as Dave Chappelle would call them.
Yeah. So, that's the only other way I really see Biden losing this. So, so to everyone out there who doesn't want Donald Trump to win, vote early. I voted early last Friday.
Yep, I got my mail-in ballot. I dropped it off already.
Yeah. So, or like get a mail-in ballot, drop it into a Dropbox, or mail it back in. I wouldn't trust DeJoy, the head of the Postal Service, with my ballot.
Take no chances.
It's probably cool, but
this election will be potentially messy. Why am I saying potentially? Yeah. This will get messy. They showed it in Georgia. They are actively trying to suppress the vote. It's not any joke. It's not a hidden. They are actively trying to keep people from voting.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I signed up to be a judge of election. It's happening.
Nice.
I got my training materials and everything. Not sure how much of a difference I'm going to make in true blue Illinois, which is so solidly Democratic, it's not even funny. Well, there's Chicago and then like 10 other counties, and we basically tell everyone else who to vote for.
Yeah.
Pretty good at strong arming.
Yep. Okay. So, just getting close to an hour in. So, I guess quickly going through the vice presidential debate. It was a debate. It was boring in comparison to all the crazy shit that's going on. But they both did fine. I think Pence was much better. Well, much better than Trump, but he made a pretty good point of pushing it towards the whole Supreme Court thing, which I think that's their weakest point right now, is not answering it, and also what are they going to say? Now, I know Joe Biden definitely listens to this podcast. So here's what you do, Joe. You don't pack the courts. You don't add too much. That's what you tell them. That's what you do. You don't do that. What you will do, though, is you'll put in 18-year term limits on Supreme Court justices. And guess what? When you're president, if you become president, there's two guys. One of them's Clarence Thomas, that are already over the 18-year mark. So after you pass that law, boom, both those guys are gone. You get two Supreme Court picks. One of them was appointed by George H.W. Bush. One was appointed by Clinton. You rebalance the court right there. And then in your third year of your presidency, another judge comes up. I think it's Kennedy, who was appointed by George W. Bush. So you get 3 picks in your first term, and if you go in your next term, I don't know if you get any picks. It's kind of a big gap after that. So you do that, and then you also give statehood to Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. That's 4 Senate seats right there for the Democrats.
They have to ask for statehood. He can't just give it to them. And then it has to be approved by everyone else.
Says who?
Pretty sure that's... Well, they have to ask for it.
They have to ask for D.C.
D.C. will definitely ask.
Actively asking.
Puerto Rico doesn't necessarily want it.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
Income tax.
But, I mean, they have essentially no representation.
True, but they also don't have income tax, so,
Well, maybe they, it's like, hey, we'll give you some more money to fix up your crappy state if you ask for statehood. And boom.
You'd think.
Anyway, even if it is just DC, which I think you'd get DC and Puerto Rico, that's 2 to 4 more Senate seats. Two seats from DC that will pretty much always be Democratic seats. And then, yeah, you kind of balance out the Senate, just in general. And the thing about statehood and term limits is it's not technically unfair for anybody. Like, if you just pack the court, it's like, okay, well, Republicans will just pack the court again. There's nothing you can do to add on to the term limits. I mean, I guess you could, decrease the term limits or whatever, but there's no, like, adding on, like, say, oh, well, these guys did it, so we're just going to do it. Like, there's nothing to add on to it. They're kind of stuck, It's more fair for just presidents in general as it goes on. Like, every president, each term, will have 2 picks. Democrat or Republican. In the short term, it helps the Democrats. In the long term, it doesn't help anybody, really.
Well, if we're talking about antiquated old systems, the whole electoral college should be switched over to ranked choice voting.
Yeah, but
Maine already gave it a go.
I know.
And it's forcing Susan Collins to not go all the way to the right. It stops the pendulum. Because this, what you're talking about with fucking with the courts, it's just going to pendulum left, it'll pendulum right. And all we end up doing is going extreme to extreme, because that's the only way that anybody understands how to fight fire, is with more fire and not proper land management.
Well, it's going to be less fire if you do that as opposed to just adding 2 more justices. Then at least you have, the same amount of justices as opposed to eventually having like 21 fucking justices.
Wait, did you say put a limit on how many we can add?
No. Just keep however many we have, which is 9. Well, up to 9. Right now we have 8.
Well, I like the term limits idea. A lifetime appointment is fucking stupid.
18-year term limits. That's a long time. Plenty of time to do whatever, hear cases, but it's not fucking forever. And at some point, every presidential term, 2 of them are gone. And so you can get the 2. And then, I mean, it's bullshit how it is right now. It just basically either people retire or they just, fucking die, like Scalia or Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And that could just happen whenever. Like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg could, say she lived out until the end of January, and then whoever the president is for that term makes the pick. Now she died like a few weeks ago, so kind of letting fate decide less seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I know, right? Here is your lifetime appointment. Here is your special robe, and no one will get to watch you deliberate.
Yeah. So instead of that, like, justices just leaving, which, they can, I guess if they want to leave, they can, and you just giving the president another pick, but you're probably not going to have that on, like, the opposite side. Like, say if there's a Democratic president, you're probably not going to have a Republican appointed justice just leave for the most part, So, again, it keeps them from being ancient, and it kind of, whatever the pulse is of the American people at that particular point in time, that's where you get your justices from, because you get 2 each term. So, anyway, I think that's the answer Biden should give and Harris, because it doesn't sound insane. Like, you can't spin that as like, oh, well, that's total fucking bullshit.
Yeah, they gotta say something. They gotta say something.
I think
you can't. A non-answer is unacceptable. You gotta say something. Come up with anything.
I mean, again,
anything. Say something.
They're just trying not to rock the boat, but
you know what? The boat has been rocked.
This is the biggest thing.
It's already fucking in play.
No, see how it fixed the poll numbers. I don't know if it's going to, but everyone seems kind of pretty decided.
True.
Where they're
Debates
at.
don't historically change anybody's mind because it's usually just the same talking points that end up getting regurgitated out. So let's rattle off. Here is your list of swing states. Nevada.
Sure.
Arizona. I'm going to go ahead and include Texas. This is according to Real
Okay.
Clear
Here-
Politics.
So you know what? Let's kind of keep going into that football vein. Let's make our picks. Nevada, I'm calling Biden.
Agreed.
Okay, next.
Arizona.
I'm gonna go Biden. I think it's really close, but I think he'll just pull it off. You know, remember Arizona is where McCain is from.
All right, hang on. I'm going to play with the
and
I'm going to play with the map here. I could actually edit, and we can make our own map if I can figure out how to do it. One sec. Shit. No, duh. Create your own map.
okay.
All right, here we go.
So yeah, so I'm going. Arizona goes blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him bad mouthing McCain like that, not gonna happen.
Yeah. Also, Democrats did good in Arizona in the midterm, so there's cause for being optimistic on that.
Is Harry Reid dead yet?
Harry Reid, I don't believe is dead.
Okay. All right. We were discussing Texas a lot. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen either. I'm going Trump
I would
for
be
Texas.
I would be conservative there. For some reason, this map says that Iowa is in play, which is fascinating to me.
Okay.
I am also going to
But,
not buy that.
Yeah. So, but I think Texas is definitely something to worry about for Republicans long term.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yep.
like 8 years from now, it could go blue,
Most
and
definitely.
then they're fucked. That I think once that happens, there's going to be a lot of reorganizing of who the hell is a Democrat and who's a Republican.
Mm-hmm. Wisconsin,
Because
the cheeseheads.
Wisconsin,
Is he
I
gonna
think they
go
flip
there?
back.
He's got to visit. If he doesn't visit, it's going red.
I think he'll visit. I'm going with Biden on this. I think that historically Wisconsin goes blue. I think they go Biden.
Clinton made one visit, one time. All she had to do was fly by Milwaukee, eat a fistful of cheese curds, and then get the hell out of there.
Yeah, because she probably lost by less than 1%.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm leaving it blank.
right.
I'm leaving it blank.
All right, you're leaving it blank. I'm going blue on that one.
Let's go to Michigan. Is the governor doing all right? Has she been successfully captured?
She has not been, but I think that's a huge scare right there, and the fact that there was like one of the guys who tried to kidnap her said that, hey, fuck Trump, he's not our friend. Then another guy said, no, don't fuck Trump, he is our friend. I don't know. I think that doesn't help Trump. The whole Whitmore potentially getting kidnapped.
I don't think his supporters actively trying to kidnap a governor is going to help the law and order president. I'm going blue.
I'm going blue too. I think it would have gone blue even without that, because Joe Biden kicked the shit out of Bernie Sanders in Michigan, and Bernie Sanders won Michigan from Clinton. So I think Joe Biden has definitely got the base going, and he was part of the government who bailed out the auto industry, which that's a lot of jobs for people out in Michigan. So
They probably don't remember. True. Also talking auto industry, Ohio.
This is tough. I think it still goes red. It's
Same here.
It's almost not a battleground state anymore. It used to be, but not. It's just so consistently red. I think it sticks red.
Fracking hell, Pennsylvania. Scranton.
Biden.
What do you got?
Yep. Scranton vote comes in hot. Yeah, he wins it just because A, he's from there, B, he has a penis.
I did. Oh yeah, I forgot.
That's enough. That's enough to
curveball
to get him across.
Does Biden's dick lean left? Don't answer that now. Okay. Apparently, they're also saying that North Carolina is up in the air, which I think is horseshit.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
I think that's gonna be really close.
I don't even know what that's referring
I'll give it
to.
to Trump.
I am going to skip.
I'm gonna say it's within 2%. North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm only ever putting leaning on this interesting map. All right, let's play around some more. Let's see. I'd love to talk about South Carolina, but it's probably not going to happen. So let's talk about Georgia and their crazy polling. Will the vote be suppressed in Georgia enough for Trump to win?
There's a long, storied history of voter suppression, and it stays alive. That on election day goes red.
Redding it up. All right. It's the moment everyone's been waiting for. America's limp dick. Is it gonna firm up? Is everything gonna go right? Or are we gonna lean to the left? Are the Pensacola scumbags gonna come out in droves? Which way's Florida going?
I want to say blue, but I think I just have this feeling it's gonna go red. I think the Cuban Americans are going for Trump. All the other Latinos are going for Biden, but not that hard. The African American vote goes for Biden hard. The rest of South Florida goes for Biden hard. All of North Florida goes for Trump, except I guess the Tallahassee area and Central Florida. It's kind of a mixed bag, but I think kind of leans Trump's way. I mean, definitely not Ocala, but I think it does go red. It's super close. It's always a toss-up.
It's probably going to come down to like
flip
Duval County. That's North Jacksonville area. I think that area is ripe. The Tampa area, Hillsborough County it's possible. You know, there's enough cities scattered throughout Florida that everybody always forgets about. And if people fucking show up, it can happen down there. The vote is activated.
And also keep an eye on the Midwest for the sake of West Florida. That's where West Floridians come from, is the Midwest. So might be a good indicator of how they're going to vote. They'll vote for Biden, but how hard are they going to vote for Biden?
This is interesting. This electoral map has... Right now, I disagreed with you on Pennsylvania. I don't think that they're going to buy the fracking argument. And where else did I disagree with you? I think that was it. So just by virtue of me disagreeing with you on Pennsylvania, right now, my map, I have managed to make a map of 269 for Biden, 1 shy, and 267 for Trump. Meaning that we've got 2 electoral votes that I did not understand how to split. Let's see here. This is where the ranked choice voting comes in. Nebraska and Maine are the only 2 states that split their electoral votes. Nebraska definitely has 1 district going Republican, and Maine has 1 district definitely going Democratic.
I think Maine has 2 Democratic.
I think that's exactly accurate, which gives Biden the win. Squeaking across the line, 270 to 268.
Now,
If Pennsylvania doesn't go blue.
Pennsylvania's going blue, man. Pennsylvania wants to go blue.
I don't know.
I think I made a pretty solid he has a penis argument.
He does have a penis, but is it still working?
Doesn't matter.
No, I think that's a pretty big indicator. You can have one, but it gives a shit.
You can attach it with a fucking stapler.
I didn't say it fell off. Good God, sir.
I'm saying...
Who is this Frankenstein's monster that you want to put in office?
He is not Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is Andy Kaufman. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
It's like, all right. Let Andy Kaufman pull off his mask. It must be really fucking hot in there.
I mean, he's been wearing it for so long.
Yeah, it's starting to change colors.
Yeah, it's getting ripe. You know, I think it's falling apart. Really, he needs to get it washed.
Yeah, that might be it. It's just dirty. But I'm super against you on Pennsylvania, and honestly, I was giving Trump the benefit of the doubt on a couple of these. I think there's a really good chance Biden does win Florida. I'm just going to give it to Trump because...
yeah, why not be conservative? Why trust these polls?
Yeah,
watch Biden win Watch Biden pull off like a Reagan Carter type thing. Do you want to know how badly Reagan beat Carter in 1980?
Yeah,
489 to 49.
Yeah,
that's
I was being conservative. There's definitely a chance of the blowout, but we'll see. I think pretty much worst case scenario, Biden still squeaks away, which would really suck.
I think we outlined the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Which is Texas and Florida still going.
Really, yeah.
But he's got to visit Wisconsin. He's got to go. If he doesn't go to Wisconsin, it's over. Again.
Not really. I mean, if he wins Pennsylvania and Florida, it's also over.
Fair.
And also, if he doesn't win Wisconsin and does win Arizona and wins Michigan and Pennsylvania, also will win. I think he's gonna win. That's the one kind of state that's usually red that I am pretty sure is going blue. I think it's there.
I mean, you're out there in Arizona. Do you get out to anywhere? Do you see lots of masks? That's basically the truest exit poll. How many masks do you see in public places?
You know what? People have been getting a lot better with the masks over time, so...
That's it. It's all over.
Yeah. Like, when I go to the supermarket, when I go to the grocery store, only one dude wasn't wearing it properly, like, under his nose. Everyone else was wearing their mask properly, and
there you go.
There's a lot more people doing that earlier during the pandemic of people just not giving a shit. So.
Right. Well, there you go. Go to your supermarkets, people. If you see masks, you know what's up. You know where people are voting. Or just get out and vote to begin with. What the hell? It's your goddamn constitutional right. One of my coworkers isn't fucking voting. I'm like, why the hell not? It's like, I don't really get involved. He's got an opinion on things. And I'm like, what are you, a felon? What's the matter? In Illinois, we're lucky. You can register the day of, right then and there.
That's nice.
Other places, we're already past the deadline. You can't even do it. Florida, you're done. You're done. If you're not registering,
I think Arizona.
You stop. Why'd you even listen to this?
Yeah, Arizona, you're done. Florida, they actually extended it. They might be done again.
Oh, again? I know the website crashed. On the deadline, but that was last week.
Okay, so maybe it's done again.
I think they only extended it a day.
But they did extend it a little bit because of that, yeah.
Nettie. Well, we didn't discuss any of the Senate races, but I don't know if you want to bother doing that.
Kelly wins in Arizona, and
really,
there's a chance in hell that McConnell and Graham could.
Yes. I was very excited for Mr. Booker's race out there in Kentucky against McGrath. He wasn't going to win, but he had a great slogan: "From the hood to the holler." We're all going to come together for Kentucky, and Mitch the bitch is going to be sent packing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be...
Didn't happen.
If
McGrath is a candidate.
no other reason, I want there just to know that McConnell and Graham are going to call Trump and say, "Thanks a lot, you fucking asshole."
They were their own people. It was up to them. They knew exactly what they were doing. McConnell, especially.
Really,
the man is addicted
probably
to
will.
just winning elections. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't care. He just wants to win the election.
That and get Republican judges in.
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter to him.
No, he gives a like that's how Trump was able to get so many federal judges in, because there were so many spots open.
Right.
Because when
Right.
McConnell took over the Senate, he wouldn't let any federal judges in at all.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Trump. That's one of the things Trump said during the debate. How stupid Obama was. He couldn't fucking put them in. McConnell literally wouldn't let him.
Right.
Like that. It still has to be confirmed by the Senate. Senate can say, "Go fuck yourself." So that's how it goes.
Brutal.
All right, I think we're good for now. I'm sure there'll be a month worth of news next week. We'll talk about that.
No doubt. Stay safe out there, people. Don't get captured.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and go vote.
Yes, for the love of God, please vote in every single possible election you can. And if you're in a swing state, you have to vote Democratic. And if you're in not a swing state, please vote for, like, the Green Party or something, so that somebody else can fucking run for a change. We keep running the same two people. God. Ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting.
Have any questions or comments, write in at hopesomething6@gmail.com.
We're going to have to make up some feedback. Has anybody found out about that website?
No.
God damn it. Why don't you just post it somewhere? Let's get some kind of feedback. I'm like dying for some trolls. Let's get some trolls going. I want to get into a Twitter battle with a troll.
All right. And also check out the Republic of Kazakhstan on Twitter.
Absolutely. They're doing great. Or at least they're trying to.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you next time.